Hey everyone, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to make a one-page website with WordPress. In this course we're going to cover a lot of things. Since it's our first website, we want to lay the ground floor, and we're going to make a free logo that we designed utilizing a great website that I highly recommend using. We're going to make a menu, and within this menu we're going to be able to click on an item and it will take us directly to that website, so it is a one-page website. We are also going to go over how to edit text. In this case, make large text. We'll edit buttons. We'll also add social sharing icons, and we will also add a pop-up box window that will pop up if we want people to sign up for an email list or a product. When they're about to leave the page, it pops up. These things are all optional, of course. It's all up to you what kind of website you want to make. We're going to go over how to edit all kinds of text on this website, add different images and resize them so they fit accordingly, edit text here and edit the number counter and all kinds of things in this section. We're also going to go over how to add images and add text into this effect right here that pops over the screen, over the person's image, I should say. We're going to be going over how to edit these social icons and link to them as well. In the next area right here, we're going to go over the testimonials and how to size your picture for this image as well, and how to edit the text for testimonial reasons. And here we'll go over how to add blog posts, and in this section we're going to just show how to add a basic blog post with dummy text in this scenario, and add an image that's a feature image to that post as well. And when these posts are clicked on, it will take you to another page, which I'll show you here. And this will show you the full version of the text of the blog post. Now when we go back, we'll go down to the next section, and here we'll go over how to create a contact form and edit the contact form so it will be able to send and receive emails to your email. We'll also, earlier in the course, integrate our email and make a website specific email. In our case, it will be support@mypracticeprojects.com. And then at this bottom section, we will go over how to edit these elements and these texts, and we'll make it able to link to your website, so it will pop up and open with your website or phone number. And we'll also edit the social media icons here at the bottom. Other things that we'll cover in this course is we'll touch on SEO, which is search engine optimization, and how to make your website a little bit more search engine friendly for what you're trying to target, which keywords you're trying to target. And we will also go over installing plugins and what plugins are beneficial to have to your website when you're starting out, and which ones are good ones to know to give you a base that's a solid ground to start on when you're designing your first website. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll do my best to get back to you quickly. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this course. In this section, we will be covering domain names. What makes a good domain name? Domain names are important because they directly represent you, your company, or your desired web presence that you're striving for. I recommend choosing a shorter, more memorable domain name because it will benefit both you and your customers. What is a domain extension? A domain extension essentially is what is used to the right of the dot in your URL. An example of a URL would be google.com, so the extension would be .com in this case. If it were a charity site with a .org domain name, it would be charityname.org, and .org would be the extension for the domain name. These are important because they can affect people trying to find your exact website. Additionally, some of these are much more popular than others. These are the ones that you probably have commonly heard, like .com, .net, .org, .gov, .edu. These are all considered to be top-level extensions. You might be wondering where you can register your domain name. Domain names are registered through domain name registrars. Examples of these would be GoDaddy.com, HostGator.com, and there are many more. For this course, we will be using HostGator.com to both register our domain name and use as our hosting provider for our website. It is required that you have a domain name and hosting to have a real web presence. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the discussion. We're going to go over registering a domain name and setting up our hosting account. We're going to be using HostGator.com. That's HostGator.com, as you can see right here. When we get to the site, it's going to load a bunch of options. We're going to click the top left one that says Web Hosting. After we get to this second page, we're going to click Choose a Plan, this big yellow button, and it will just scroll us down a little bit. So if you want to scroll down, that's fine. And here we are brought to a section with 3 different types of plans. There's a hatchling plan, a baby plan, and a business plan. And it says now 30% off for all of them, but that's actually dependent on how long your plan is. That only applies to the 3-year plan. As far as this hatchling plan goes, it will host a single domain name. It has one-click installs, which they all do, and they all come with unmetered bandwidth and shared SSL certificates. The important thing to note here is a single domain name. I am highly against just getting a hatchling plan because if you're anything like I was when I started designing websites, you're going to get one domain name and then maybe you'll get a second one and a third one, and you'll get really into it and you'll want to make a lot of different types of websites and things like that. And you don't want them all under one subdomain name or one singular domain name. I think it's much better to get a baby plan with unlimited domain names. And to be honest, the only thing that the business plan really offers that's better is a toll-free support number, but I don't really think that's quite necessary for this type of website and setting up your first few websites. I think it's just better to get in with a baby plan for a cheaper rate than a business plan. So what we're going to do is hit sign up now. Now we're brought to another page where we choose our domain name. I'm going to show you that there's a variety of extensions as we talked about in the previous lesson. As you can see, there's .com all the way to biz and me and net and everything. I would highly recommend that you try to get a .com domain name because it's the most memorable for people trying to find your website and to share it with others. By default, everyone thinks .com when they think of a website. So what you want to do is to check if the website name that you want is available. You'll type it in and you can type in websitename.com, for example, and hit enter. And as it says, this is unavailable. But what it does is show me a list that are available with different extensions. Now, I don't really want a different extension, as I said. I want the .com. So another thing you could do is change the domain name to be something else. And I assume that one would be available, my website name123.com. Something to note is if you want to have hyphens in your domain name, you can, but you cannot have underscore characters. I would recommend against having hyphens and numbers in my domain name, but it's really up to you. I think shorter is better, and the more simple you can make it, the better for your customers or friends or whoever you're trying to share this website is to find. After you choose the domain name, you go down and it offers a lot of upsell type things. I'm going to not have the domain name privacy. With domain name privacy, it prevents people from looking up who owns that website and things like that, but I don't think many people really do that anyway. I don't think it's very necessary as long as you're not making an illegal website or something like that. As far as the packages go, this is our hosting package. Now, it gives it gives you multiple options. As you can see, we're clicked on the baby plan, which is the one we want. We want to leave that as baby. And here we are offered different terms. There's everything from 1 month with 20% off up to 6 months with 20% off, and there's 22% off for a 1-year hosting package. I wouldn't personally commit to anything longer than a year till you really know if this is something you want to do and you enjoy. I assume that most of you probably want to try a month and just try it out, see if it's for you. I also have a coupon code. I have 2 different coupon codes actually that can give you a better discounted rate than the 22% that they offer for a year, or any of these 20% discounts as well. To get started for the least, I think we're going to want to use a 1 month just so you can try it out, test the waters. And I have a coupon that will bring that price down from $9.56 a month to just 1 cent per month. What you want to do here is enter your personal information, your username, and a security PIN. I already have an account with HostGator, and I'm going to use a subdomain name for multiple websites I make, and a normal domain name for the first website that I create. So I'm not going to sign up for another account, but what you want to do is put your username and security PIN here. Here is the billing information that you're going to need to fill out as well to complete the purchase. When we get down to here where it says for additional services, I'm going to uncheck everything that is checked in this section, because these are all just kind of upsells that are not really necessary for you to get started, in my opinion. They have a coupon code of Snappy Day. If we're using a month membership, a month-long subscription, I mean, just to test the waters, see if it's for you, my coupon code to get it down from, to get the total down from $9.56, as we see here, bringing the total to $22.51. When we added my coupon code, which is Udemy 1 cent start. That's Udemy 1 cent start, and it's number 1, not spelled out as you see here. And then we click validate, and the total should go down from $22.51. And there it is, down to $12.96, because our first month is 1 cent for the hosting. After that, it will be at a rate of, I believe, $9.96 or whatever, $9.56 or whatever it was. And then when we go down, we want to click, you can read the terms of service and cancellation policy and things like that. And I should note that there is a 45-day money-back guarantee for this. Now, after you've read this, you want to click I have read and agreed to the terms of service, and then you click Checkout Now. That's it for this section. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the support area. Thanks. Hey everyone, welcome back. In this lecture we're going to install WordPress onto our website. Now, this isn't going to be the website that we'll be using in my course, however, the process is the same for any website. So what we'll want to do first is get to our hostgator.com your account info email. And once we go within that email, we'll see the Your Control Panel link, and we'll have to click that link and sign in with the username and password that they have made for us. Now, I will say, after you do that, you may want to reset the password or change it to something else like I have done. Now, once this page is loaded, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to where it says Quick Install. Now, if you purchased a domain name with a different provider but you're using HostGator, you will have to go through the add-on domain names and add that in there first. But for this lecture, since we've done this through HostGator and registered the domain name with HostGator, we can just go right into the Quick Install section here within the Software and Services area. So we'll click that link, and now once we get to this page, we'll go to WordPress on the left side, and we'll go to Install WordPress within the free Install WordPress for Free area. Now we're going to populate this area right here with our information that we want, but first, before we do anything like that, we're going to have to make sure we have the right domain name selected. I have many domain names. Hopefully you just have one here on your list to add. And I'm actually going to add it for viewyoursitedesign.com. And this will be your blog title. We can change that at a later point. And your email we can also change for the administrator email once we're logged in. But this, the admin username, we cannot change, or you should not try to change. You can add on additional users at a later time if you want other people to have access to the back end of the site. But for this case, we want to keep this admin username as something we're easily going to be able to remember. After that, we're going to click Install WordPress, and we can X out of this pop-up. And once it's done running our installation, we'll click on where it says View Details. As you can see, it says your installation is complete. Click here to view your notifications. We'll click View Credentials right here. And we're going to need to copy and paste this information into another document. Now, after we do that, we should save that information because we're going to need this password to log in to the WordPress dashboard. And it may take a while for your websites to be activated. It could be a few hours. So I recommend that you definitely save this information because there's no way you're going to be able to remember that password for a few hours. And in the next lecture, we'll use that information to sign in to our WordPress website. If you have any questions about this process, please definitely feel free to reach out to me within the support section. Thanks. We will go over how to log into the back end of your WordPress dashboard. The first thing you'll want to do is type in your website's name. In this case, mine is mypracticeprojects.com. And then after that, you want to put a /, as I'm doing here, WP-admin, and then click Enter. So just to be clear, you want to put the name of your website, /WP- and then admin after that, ADMIN, and it will take you to this page. After you get to this page, you'll be prompted to put in your username and password. I have mine already saved, and you should have yours saved as well. It was the long string of characters and numbers that was given to you in the View Credentials section of the previous video. After you have that, you click Login. And now we are in the back end of the WordPress dashboard for the website. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the support section. Thanks. After we've logged into the WordPress dashboard, the first thing that we're going to want to do is change our password. There are actually two different ways that you can get to this password to change, but the way I like to do it is go up to the upper right corner where it has your admin name that you're logged into, and then you click Edit My Profile. After clicking that, you're going to be redirected to the profile page, and you will scroll down. Here you can see your contact information if you need to change your email that's associated with this WordPress website. And here you will see Account Management, New Password. Click on Generate New Password, and then once it gives you a password, you can change it to be anything that you want. Anything. And make it something that you're going to be able to remember. And then you're going to click Update Profile below this. And you will update the profile, and then it will say Profile Updated. So now if you were to log out of the account of the back end of your website and log back in, you'll put in your username, and now my new password will be this one. And I'll log back in, and here I am back in with the new password that I've set. If you guys have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out to me because it's very important to change your password so it's something that you can remember to log into the back end of your WordPress dashboard. We're going to go over some of the pre-installed things that WordPress comes with, and we're going to go and change them or basically delete them so they don't take up as much space and they won't get in the way when we're going through and creating everything. Now, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to go to the post page on the left, In the post page, we'll just click it and it will have a message that says Hello World. To view what the site looks like right now, we can right click on My Practice Projects and click Open in a new tab. And here's what our website looks like at the moment. Currently, this is what our website looks like. And when we go back to the post page here in the back end, we can click on the post that we want to delete and click Trash. I like to go through and go into the trash, and then I click Delete Permanently to get rid of it. If it's just in the trash bin and not deleted permanently, you can restore the post so it comes back. But in this case, we don't need to do that. Now if you go back to the website that we're working in and you refresh the page, you will see that it deleted the post that was there, that the theme came with by default. Next, I'm going to go down to Pages, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go and delete the sample page, put it in the trash. Once that page is in the trash, we're going to go in and then click Delete Permanently. After we've deleted that permanently, we're going to go down to the Plugins page. When we get to the Plugins page, we're going to go down to where it says WP Super Cache. For that plugin, we're going to click Deactivate. Now, we may enable this later, but for now we're going to deactivate it because it can mess things up when we're trying to look at updates that we've made to the site. It won't always appear. After doing that, we're going to go up one tab to the Appearance page and just click on Appearance. And then it will bring us to other themes that WordPress pre-installs by default onto our site. On this, we'll hover over to 2013 theme and click Theme Details. After we click Theme Details, I'm going to go to the lower right corner and click Delete. And then it will ask me if I want to, and I'll click OK to confirm that deletion. And we'll do the same thing. Hover over this, click Theme Details for this one, click Delete, and then confirm it with OK. And we'll do the same thing here. Click over it, delete it, and hit OK. Now we can't delete every theme, so now by default we're left with this last one, 2016, the most recent theme that comes with WordPress. At this point, that's all we really need to delete for now. We're going to go over how to install our theme, and then we will also go through the dashboard menu on the left to get more familiar with some of the aspects of it. What we're going to want to do here, since we cannot delete this last theme either, at least not yet, we can go to Add New at the top. After this page loads, we'll go to where it says Search Themes, and we'll type in Zerif, Z-E-R-I-F. And then the theme that we want will be this one right here, not Minimal Zerif, Zerif Lite. And we'll go hover over it and we'll click Install. After it says they're unpacking the package, installing the theme, and then it was successfully installed, you need to hit Activate to actually make it go into effect. After it is now into effect, we're going to hover over this one, the 2016 theme, click in the center of it, and then click Delete, like we did on the previous themes. That deletes the theme, so now we're only left with the Serif theme. Next, we're going to install this plugin that it recommends, and then you click on it and click Install. The plugin was successfully installed. Next, we're going to go over some of the aspects and elements of the dashboard on the left side. Here on the dashboard button, when we click on this, it'll take us to the home page that we logged in and saw. We're going to actually use this page in the future when we add a plugin. We'll get into plugins in an upcoming section. We'll refer back to this to check our Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is basically just tracking the stats of the website, seeing how many visitors come and things like that. Next, we'll go down to, we're going to skip over Jetpack because I'm going to end up uninstalling that plugin. This is the Post page. We'll click on Posts. And Posts, as we saw before, we deleted the one post that was on the home page here, it was right in this section. Posts only apply to blogs. When you make a blog post, it means like you're posting an article. You're posting a new message that you want your viewers to be able to see. We'll go into more detail in posts in future WordPress tutorials. To add a new post, though, you would want to click Add New, and then title the post here, and then this is where your text would go in this body area. It's similar to writing a document on Microsoft Word. You would write a title, and then you would be able to bold it or italicize it, use bullets, things like that. They make it very simple, and there are actually more options when you click on this button, the toolbar toggle. You can change the heading size, underline it, change the text color, make links. All different aspects are available in this section. And we'll get into that in more detail in future lectures. Next, we're going to go down to the media section. When you go down to the media section, you can add new elements where it says Add New. And you'll select whatever you want to add. This is usually for like pictures or audio, something like that. You can add video as well. But usually I think you most likely want to use just images in this section. That'll be the most common use for them. So you have to upload the image here onto the site, and then you can use it easily from there. Next, we'll go down to the pages section. In the pages section, pages are different than posts. Pages are what you would see when you have a menu at the top. For example, I'll show you if I click Add New, and let's just write home, and I'll just write home as the text, and then I'll just publish it for now. That's how you publish a page. And if you go back to our site and then you click refresh to look at how it looks now, you will see that there's our new theme that we just uploaded, and now it says home here. So when we go back, if you want to go into pages again, and then you want to delete this, you'll go click on it and hit trash to delete it. Just like the other things we deleted before, we're going to hit trash again, and then we're going to delete permanently. And if you go back and look now and you refresh it, there's no home tab at the top anymore. However, we do have this way more beautiful looking theme enabled now. I should also note that when we're logged in to the back end of the dashboard to make changes, we will see this bar at the top. But when we are logged out and we're viewing this from a different tab, we will not see this. It's only because we're logged in. No one else will be able to see this tab even when we are logged in, though. I just want to make that clear. So this will not normally be here, this black tab at the top. Next, we'll go to comments. And comments, I guess this is something we're going to touch on a lot more in the future, but this has to do with things related to blogging as well. Both the comments and the posts kind of go hand in hand, and you can decide which comments are approved and how the settings will be for that, and we'll cover that as well. The marketplace, we're going to skip by that because that's also a plugin we're going to uninstall, just like Jetpack. Appearance, this is one of the more important tabs on the page. When you go to appearance, you have the option to customize, and this will take you to a new layout in the back end, and we can look at different aspects of the website and change them right here on the spot. For example, if we wanted to make changes to basically anything, social icons, we can put in our icons, and it says in the footer. The footer is at the bottom, like your feet are in the bottom of your body. Footer is here, so if I wanted to change something, I could. If I wanted to remove some of these links, let's say, because I would rather just have Facebook and Twitter, and I save and publish. Now look, these are the only two links here, Facebook and Twitter. If I wanted to add LinkedIn, I could add my LinkedIn URL as well, and I'll update that to show you now LinkedIn's back. When you hover over them, it has a nice effect. so you know which one you're actually going to click on. That comes with the theme already. To get back to the dashboard, you just click the X button in the upper left corner, and now we're back. We're going to go through customizing this theme a lot, so we'll touch on a lot of these aspects going forward. Plugins. Plugins is also a very important section, and as I said, we're going to uninstall some of these unnecessary plugins, and we'll do that in the next section. Plugins basically are almost like the apps that you have for your smartphone. They give your site more power and give it new features that it didn't have before. Next, we'll go down to users. Users is actually the other way that you could change your password. If you go to your users and then you hover over your name and you click edit, then it will take you to the section that we went up to here and went to edit my profile. It takes you to your profile section where you can edit your information. We're going to skip over tools for now, and then settings is also another very important section. In settings, we can change how our site looks. For example, it says at the top, when I hover over, it says My Practice Projects, just another WordPress site. Do you see that? My Practice Projects, just another WordPress site. Now if we go back over here, it says My Practice Projects is a site title, and just another WordPress site. This is the tagline. This is what will show up when you hover over where it says just another WordPress site. I'm going to change this to say learn to make a site. And if I go down, I can also change the date, the time zone, which is important. I'm going to do that now. I live in Eastern Standard Time, which is my UTC -5. I had to look that up, so if anybody else needs to, I suggest you do that for your own time zone. And when I get down here, I will click to save the changes. Now if we go back up, we can look. If we refresh this, it'll say My Practice Projects, learn to make a site. So it changed. You can make that whatever you want to do, make it related to your site, I suggest. And for now, that's just a brief overview of some of these tabs that are on the side of the dashboard. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but realize that we're going to get more in detail on these as we go through the projects, making the actual sites better. We're going to go over plugins and install some plugins that we'll be using throughout this course. The first thing that we're going to need to do is go to plugins on the left side and click that. And I'm going to get rid of some plugins. I already got rid of one of them, the HostGator Walk Me plugin. So you should have 6 items, not 5 like I do. The ones I'm going to get rid of are this, the Jetpack by WordPress. I will click deactivate. And then after you deactivate it, you can click delete to delete it. And then you confirm, yes, delete these files and data. After that, we'll be brought back to the page. And then I'll also delete the Mojo. It probably says Mojo Marketplace for you. Delete that one, and then deactivate that one, and then click delete. And then confirm, yes, delete these files. I'm going to actually also deactivate the WP Super Cache. You can leave this activated if you want, but I'd like to deactivate it because sometimes you make changes to your website and it's very difficult to tell because it's caching them and it won't update the changes you actually made, and it will kind of mess with you and you'll think that you did something wrong when in reality this cache is preventing the changes from showing up the way they should look. So I personally like to work without that and delete that, and I would recommend that as well. Yes, delete these files. And now we're going to install 4 new plugins. We'll go up to where it says Plugins, Add New, and click that. And the first one we're going to install is called Yoast SEO, Y-O-A-S-T. You can just type that and click enter, and here it is, Yoast SEO. And then we click install now, and then you want to click activate plugin. It's that simple to install a plugin, and that one's installed. That's completely free. Next, we'll go to add new again, and the next one we're going to add is called Google Analytics. We'll just type Google Analytics and hit enter. And the one we're looking for is called Google Analytics Dashboard for WP. It's right here. Google Analytics Dashboard for WP. And we will click Install. And we will click Activate Plugin again. So that one's activated as well. This is all these plugins that I'm going to be using are free, and we'll go into that in a moment. Next, we'll go to Add New again at the top. And this time we're going to install one called Limit Login Attempts. Limit Login Attempts. And it will be the first one. It should be the first one for you. And Limit Login Attempts, and we'll install now. And we'll activate this one as well. This next plugin that I'm going to install, the last one for now, would be a plugin that helps you with social media sharing, but also it can capture email addresses if you'd like to build up a mailing list for your website. This one is called SumoMe. S-U-M-O-M-E, all one word, and we click enter, and here it is, the first one with the crown, SumoMe. Free tools to grow your email list, social sharing, and analytics, and we'll click Install Now. And again, we will activate this plugin. Now, something to note, we have 6 plugins now installed. That's probably what you should have, I assume, as well. Something to note would be that in this course, we will not be using a WordPress backup plugin. And the reason why I'm not going to be doing that is kind of simple. Because I don't think it's necessary to back up your website more than once a week. Even once a week is kind of a lot in my opinion. And HostGator, with the baby package that we purchased, automatically will back up our website each week. And you might be asking, what does that mean, Tom? And what that means is that since it will be backed up means it will prevent it if there was ever some kind of hacker or something like this that happened to your website, then HostGator basically can back you up to the last version from a week ago that wasn't affected by this incident. You would just have to contact their support, and it's probably going to be fixed within an hour or two, if I had to guess, and back up to normal. And I think with them being able to do that, I would rather them do this than me do this personally, because they're professionals and this is what they do for a living. Another thing to note is there are both free and paid plugins. I strongly suggest that you use just these free plugins like the ones I mentioned here, and there are a few other good ones that I also like, but for this course these are definitely enough to get you up and running and really give you a good feel of plugins and how they work. There are paid ones that are beneficial, but in my experience I feel like the free plugins available really do well and get the job done, and there's not really much of a need to pay $75 or $100 like some of these plugins may cost. So I hope you learned something about plugins. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the support section. We're just going to go over how to get started with the Limit Login Attempts plugin. The first thing we're going to do is go to Settings and then go to Limit Login Attempts. It's at the bottom for me, and I assume it will be for you as well. And click on that, and then we'll get into the Limit Login Attempts settings. Here we can go through what we would like to limit, and this has to do with logging into your WordPress website. If someone is logging in and they're putting the wrong password repeatedly, or someone is trying to hack into the back of your website that you don't want to, this can be very useful. Now what we want to do here is change any numbers that you would like. This is really up to you. It's on a personal preference for things that you want to try to change to prevent people from logging in. But without this plugin, there would be unlimited attempts for people to try, and that just isn't a good idea. So what I'm going to do, for me personally, I'm going to change this to, I'm going to allow 5 retries, because sometimes I do forget my passwords because I have a lot of sites with different passwords and I don't really like writing them all down. And I'm going to lock out for, let's make it 30 minutes, I'll try. And for lockouts increase lockout time to 24 hours. I'm going to say 3 of them will do that, because if you get locked out 3 times, it's pretty bad.
And 12 hours until retries are reset. I'm going to put that down actually to 8 hours just for me. I'm going to leave this as it appears the site was reached directly, and then I'm going to leave by direct connection, and I'll leave handle cookie login as yes as well. And if you want to get emailed after a certain number of lockouts, you can change this number. I personally am just going to leave it as it is and click change options. That's basically like a submit button. And then at the top you should get a message that says options changed. That's about all you have to do for this plugin.
We're going to go over a plugin that we installed already called Yoast SEO. It's this one here at the bottom. The first thing we're going to do for this is we're actually going to go to Pages, and then you can either hover over it and click Add New, or actually click on the Pages button, and then when we get to the next page we click Add New. I'm just going to make a page and just call it About Me in this case, and here I'm just gonna write a sentence where it can be anything that you really want to write. Here is a little story about me. And then I'm going to just hit publish. When we go over to this page, to our website, and we click refresh, we can now see that there's an About Me tab or page on our website. When we click this About Me tab, it says here's a little story about me. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to where it says settings and then go to permalinks. And what I would like to do in this case is not make it say all of this after. It looked fine on the other page, but it won't always have this happen. Sometimes at the end of your URL it will say your website name, and then it won't always say the title About Me. It might just be a bunch of random numbers and letters. So the best way to deal with that is to change what that says here and put %, post name, %. That's %, post name, %. And then we go down to the bottom and we just click Save Changes. Now when we refresh, I assume this will look the same at the top. It will, it just doesn't have the / after it, which I actually like a little more. Next, what we're going to do is we'll go back to where it says Pages, and we'll go to About Me and we'll click Edit. Now, if we scroll down, we can see this new feature that wouldn't be on a page normally without the Yoast SEO plugin. And this asks for your focus keyword. If you have questions about these kind of things, you can click on it and we'll give you a little more information. For a focus keyword, it says pick the main keyword or key phrase that this post is about. So we would put About Me. Now, a way that you can check what your URL will show up as is right here, About-Me. You need to have the hyphen between each word, or else it will be affected in search engine optimization. Now, if you had something else like a bunch of random numbers show up, like I said, can happen sometimes without the permalink settings being changed to %, post name, %, then you can go up here and physically change it to say About Me, and then click OK. None of these changes will go into effect until you click Update. Now, another important thing I want to show you is this rating right here. As you see, this little light shows you how well you're doing with your SEO, your search engine optimization for this particular page. It goes by each page of your website. Ideally, you would like it to be green. If it's red, that's bad. If it's orange, it's really not great like we have right now. And if it's green, it's good. Now, it will give you content analysis, and it will show you things like what you can do to improve. It says the text contains 7 words. This is far too low and should be increased. I would generally say if you can have about 400 words per page, you're probably going to be doing pretty well and end up with a green overall. I think content is really the biggest factor that changes this to being green or a good rating for on-page SEO. Another factor is how many times your page incorporates the keyword that you're focusing on. So we have it here. It says about me. If you're writing about 400 or 500 words of content, I would at least have it twice in that content. But this is something that you cannot overdo. It will talk about keyword density down here as well. And I would say that I would never put more than 3 times in every 400 words. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb, because then it appears spammy and Google then can penalize you for doing something like that. This is just a brief introduction to how on-page SEO works, and with the Yoast plugin we have a little bit more of a bonus on really what to improve on our website to have the chance of ranking better in Google. I hope this was helpful, everyone. Please ask any questions you might have in the support section as always. We will focus on setting up the Google Analytics dashboard for WP plugin that we have already installed earlier. The first thing we will do is go to where it says Google Analytics on the left side, and then we will click General Settings. I should point out that they also offer some setup tutorial and demos here, but what we're going to do is pretty simple and straightforward. The first thing that we're going to do is click Authorize Plugin. I should also mention that you must sign up for a Google Analytics account. You can do this by going to analytics.google.com or just going on Google and typing in Analytics in the search bar. After we have authorized the plugin here, we will go to the section that says Get Access Code. Here, we will link the two and we will click Allow. This will generate a code here that we'll need to copy, and then we will go back to our dashboard and we will paste that code into the access code bar and click Save Access Code. We're basically done from there, but just to go through the options right here, we can look at the theme color if that's important to you. I don't really think it matters too much. And just check your time zone that it's right and that your URL that you set up the account through is correct as well. And then once you view that information, decide that it's correct, you want to click Save Changes. I just want to point out also where this information will be and what it will look like. If you go to Dashboard, the information will display somewhere in this area on your home page of the dashboard here in WordPress. Also, you can view the information from the analytics.google.com website after you've set up your account and view it here. It will look something like my information does for a different website that I have. I should also mention that it comes with features that will show you page views, users, the average session duration, bounce rate, and more. There's different types of reporting as well that you can view and get familiarized with in the analytics section. I really just wanted to have this plugin set up so you are able to track this for future reference. Now, something you should also note is that it can take a couple days for the dashboard to be going into effect in the back end of your WordPress website, as well as some time for it to be placed onto the analytics.google site as well. So please be patient with this, and after a few days or a week, if there is nothing going on, feel free to contact me through the support section. We can work together to try to fix the error. We're going to go over how to configure the SumoMe plugin that we installed earlier. As you may have noticed, you have been seeing this click here to set up SumoMe, and now we're finally going to do it and get this annoying thing out of the way. So first we're going to click on it, and then we're going to have to sign up with a good email address that we're going to be able to remember to have access to it. After doing that, you click Sign Up, and now we're on this page. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Sumo store, and click on that icon. After that loads, we're going to go to Sumo Share, which I believe is down a little bit. Here it is, Share, and it says free under it with the arrows and the multicolors here. Now we're going to click free, and now it says Share is now installed. What Sumo Share does is it makes it easier for people to share your social content through social sharing buttons. Now to take a look at how this looks on a website, let's go to the site. And we should now have something on the side. There it is. This is our share icons on the side. Now this makes it easier for people to share content, as I've said, and it will be on each page, I believe. There it is again. After we go back into the dashboard, we should click Open, which is in this area. I have already opened it, and now we will click Free, and this will display information about how much our social sharing is getting done. Now that that part's set up, we're going to go back into the Sumo store, and we will click List Builder, which is the first option on mine. After that, we will click Free, and now it's installed. I should tell you that List Builder is used to build up email lists to capture people's emails that are coming to your website. This is a very valuable type of service to have for your website because it can notify users about your products, your customers about your products, or people that you've posted a new blog that you want them to read. It helps get your information out to people that are interested in it who sign up for that information. The next step we're going to do is click Open. After that, we will click Continue. It has these paid options, or it says, or just continue with free List Builder. We're going to just click Continue to go with the free version. And then after that, we're going to go to Design on the left side. Click on that. And this is our pop-up window that will come up. The way this works is when someone is going to leave the website, this will pop up. Our message that we see right here will pop up, and we can change it. We can change it from the default to medium size, large, which is longer, and extra large. I would suggest just keeping it small or medium. I'm going to go with a small one myself. And there are other options here, but I think they're all locked. So we're going to just stick with the default one that they give us for free. If you want to pay for one, you can, but I think it's better to just go with the free one for now, especially if the site is brand new and there's not a lot of people going to it yet. Here it says join our newsletter, the heading right here. We can change that to say something like sign up for email updates. And then here we'll put don't miss out on the latest blog post. This is just an example of something you could have. You can also change the color of it if you want a different button color. It's pretty easy to change it. You can also go to the font color as well. I think that looks better as a darker color personally. And this is email placeholder. This will have your text show up in this box. And it says enter your email. You could just have it say enter your email here. And after they subscribe, it would say success if they did, which is pretty common. And then it would tell them now you are subscribed. After you're happy with how this looks, you want to click save. And now we're just going to test that it's come up on the website. I'm going to refresh. And now I'm going to go to leave the site and see it popped up. It could sense that I was going toward the exit of the website and it popped up and it says sign up for email updates. Don't miss out on our latest blog post. Just as we put in there. So it prompts people to sign up for these email updates. However, if you don't want this on your website, you can just not put this box on there. You don't have to do this part. I recommend doing at least the social shares section of SumoMe because I think it's very beneficial to have on your website. We will also be using another social sharing type plugin in a later website that we work on together, but for now we are only going to use this one in this tutorial for this website. If you have any questions about setting this up, feel free to ask me. In the next lecture, we're going to use MailChimp, which is another free email service, to link to this form so we can capture the emails that sign up. If you're not interested in having this on your website, you can simply skip the next lecture. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the support section. We will be going over MailChimp. We will use MailChimp to be integrated with our email capture box that we just set up with SumoMe. Just a reminder, if you do not want to have this email capture box on your website, then simply skip this lecture because it's not necessary. However, I really think it can come in handy. The first thing that we're going to need to do is go to MailChimp.com. MailChimp is free and easy to use, and that's the main reason why I use this to link to our account. The first thing that we're going to want to do here is click Sign Up for Free in the upper right. Next, we're going to activate account with our email link. What we're going to want to do is fill out a good email address here. I'm going to fill this out and then at the bottom hit Create. After that, it will give us a message that says thanks for signing up, and it will say to please check your email to activate the account. After clicking the activation link in your email, you'll be brought to this page where you'll have to confirm that you're not a robot, and it will ask you some kind of verification question like this. Then you click Confirm Sign Up. After that, you're going to have to fill out some account information. So I'm going to do that right now and then replay the video after I'm done filling out my personal information. When you are done filling out your information, you want to just click Save and Get Started. An important note would be that above in this form you want to put in your website domain name, just to be clear. Next, it will say Access your account settings, support, and log out right here. I'll hit Next, and then I'll just do Dismiss. After that, we're going to need to click Create a List. After we do that, we'll be prompted to the next page, and we'll hit Create List again in the upper right. Here we'll be prompted to fill out information again. This will be for our email list though. So it will give you examples below. See, it says good example, Acme Company newsletter, bad example, some random customer information. So I'm going to put mine as my practice projects, since that's my domain name. News, I'll just put. Oops. And then my default email will just be the email that you're going to want the website to have. So an example would be like support my practice projects.com or your name at yourwebsite.com, for example. This is the address people will reply to. Default from name. They want to know who it's coming from. So if people don't know me as Tom from mypracticeprojects.com, then they might think, who is this person? So maybe something you would want to do is use your company name, like My Practice Projects in my case. And this is just a reminder, write a reminder about how the recipient joined this list. And then it will give you an example right here. I usually actually copy this example word for word. You are receiving this email because you opted in at our website. Then I scroll down a little bit, and here we choose how we're going to be notified. If you want a daily summary of the activity with your newsletter, one by one again. I'm just going to click one by one because I don't think we're going to have many sign up at first. You could always go back and change this to a daily summary if your mailing list begins to grow a lot and you're curious about the numbers from day to day and you don't want to get spammed with emails either. So we'll click Save. After this is saved, we're going to go back into the WordPress dashboard. We're going to go to SumoMe. We'll click the crown icon, and then we'll go to List Builder. After we click on List Builder, we will then go to Services. Then we will go to MailChimp at the top once it loads. MailChimp, and then we'll click Connect. And that part is done. We've connected the accounts. What we have to do to verify that is sign in with our MailChimp username. So what you'll want to do is put your username and password. And click Login. Now they are connected. As you can see, it says disconnect now. But the important thing you have to do now is click the Save button in the lower right, and it will come up with a message that says Saved to show that it has been saved. Now we go back to MailChimp and sign up. To get to the home page, we're going to click on the monkey in the upper left corner of the MailChimp site. And now that we're back on MailChimp, we're going to go to Lists. And now we're going to click on our list name. And next we will go to Sign Up Forms. It says, please verify support@mypracticeprojects.com. So it's not the email that we activated this account on MailChimp with, it's the email that we set up to be our site email address. So the next step in this process is to go to our account email that we got with our account info from HostGator for our hosting account. What we're going to want to do is log into this page, our control panel link, with our username and our password. As you remember probably that we updated our password, so it may be different than what displays here. At least I have updated mine. And we'll type them in and log into there. Now that it's logged in, we're going to go down to Email Accounts and click Email Accounts. Next, we're going to go to the domain name. You should probably just have one. As you know, I have many domain names. And what we're going to do is name it the same as what they're looking for what they are looking for in this case, which ours in my case was support@mypracticeprojects.com. So I will put in support@mypracticeprojects.com. And you will set a password. You can make it anything that's easy to remember for you. Here we will go and click Create Account. It says Account Created. Next, what we will do is go back to the home page. In the upper left, that icon is. And then we will scroll down to where it says Webmail and click that. After clicking on Webmail, we will click Go to Secure Webmail Login. Next, we can choose any of these three. I'm just going to choose Roundcube. And within Roundcube, you can see that I've had previous mail sent here. However, it was sent to an address that doesn't even exist for my inbox. So what we're going to need to do is go to Settings. Then we will go to Identities. Click on the only option that's there, and display name I'm going to put as Tom, and then I will change the address to be support@mypracticeprojects.com as we had before, and then I will click Save. After this, we're going to X out of this area once you see it says successfully saved in the lower right corner, and then we will go back to the home button of the cPanel in the upper left corner. After this, we will scroll down to where it says email forwarders, or forwarders in this case, and click that button. And I'm going to just take a moment to explain why it's important to forward your email. In this case, it's a pain to have to log into the cPanel every time just to view your email in MailCube. If you can have it forwarded to an email that you regularly use, or it's easier to check for you, then it makes a lot of sense to do that. If you have a Gmail account that you usually check, it makes a lot of sense to have it forwarded to that Gmail account in this case. So I just think it's a convenience factor to have it sent like this, and you'll probably receive less spam as well. Now we will click Add Forwarder, and we will highlight my domain name. Yours should already be set, as I've said before. And then we will go to Support, and the destination where we want the email to actually go to is whatever email works best for you. In my case, I'm going to put the same one that I signed up with for MailChimp, and I think that's what you should do as well. They recommend that you don't do this, but that's because they have a product that they're selling for $5 a month that they want you to buy. So I'm going to ignore that and then click Add Forwarder. After that's done and it says that you've added the forwarder and you verify that it's the correct address and correct here, what you're going to want to do is go back to MailChimp. Next, we will go into the list section on MailChimp, and it says please verify that support@mypracticeprojects.com as your default from email address before setting up a sign up form. So what we have to do is go down here and hit Verify Domain. Then we have to click Send Verification Email. After a moment, an email should appear from MailChimp. You want to open that, and then you can either verify domain access with the link or copy the code. I like to copy the code since I'm already logged into MailChimp anyway. And then I will paste it into the form here and hit Verify Me. Now it is successfully verified. And that was the final step. Now your email will be forwarded to support at whatever your domain name address is, or sales, or your name at whatever your domain name is. Whatever way you set it up, it will show as your company email for that way. And it will now be redirected to whatever email you set it to be redirected to for much easier access and communication on your part. I know this was a lot of steps, and if you have questions, please put it in the support section, but I really suggest you go through the video a couple times if you're having trouble with it, and just pause it and take your time going through it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me though. We're just going to go over how to change or set up your Gmail account to be able to send and receive messages from that, and change the address that the email appears to come from and be received from, but it will really be within your personal Gmail account. I hope that makes sense, and let's dive in here. The first thing we're going to need to do is you're going to need to log into the Gmail account that you most want to use, and after doing that, you're going to also have to log into the HostGator cPanel area by clicking the link that's in the email. that they sent you. So after you've done both of these things, what you're going to need to do is then go over and I'm just going to delete this email real quick. And what we're going to need to do is go and click where it says Settings in the upper right of your email. And we'll click on, again, where it says Settings here. Now, the section that we're going to need to go into is where it says Accounts and Import. And we'll click on that, Accounts and Import. And then it says Send Mail As. And right now, mine for this scenario is sending mail from my regular Gmail account here that I just created. So what we want to do is we'll click Add Another Email, and here we can decide on the name. Since the site is My Practice Projects, I'm just going to name it My Practice Projects. And the email is going to just be the one that we created earlier. In my case, it's support@mypracticeprojects.com. And then we'll click Next Step. So it says right here we need the SMTP server information right here. So the information we'll be able to find in our HostGator area. So we'll go back into HostGator and we'll go down, and it simply is asking for the name servers, and in this case the name servers are right here. It says ns8333.hostgator.com and ns334.hostgator.com. In this case, we're going to want to select the second one of the two, and so make sure you select this second one, and we'll copy it back in to the other tab here and paste it in. Now for the username, in my case though, I'm going to again put support@mypracticeprojects.com. And in this scenario, I don't believe you can capitalize any of these letters, so just leave them all lowercase as it is, and then create a password. And we'll leave this as the TLS, the recommended here, and the port we're going to also leave at 587. And we'll click Add Account. And now it asks us to enter and verify the confirmation code. So what it's going to do is, you'll see right here it says verify in the Gmail settings. What it's going to do is send an email to this address, support@mypracticeprojects.com. So what we're going to need to do is we'll go back to where it says inbox here. Since we've already had it set up to forward from where it says our round cube email here, we don't need to go back into the cPanel for this to get that email. We can actually just use the one that was already forwarded to us, which is pretty nice. And it says that we've requested to add this email, and you just want to verify that's the correct email. And the confirmation code is right here. And we can please click the link below to confirm your request. So we're just going to click that link. And now we'll click confirm. And now it says the Gmail user may now send mail as support@mypracticeprojects.com. Now if you didn't set up email forwarding and any of that kind of stuff on the website, you can still do this and make your email this as just the default email. But I really think it is good to have a pop-up and a way to forward mail and things like that. So now if we go back, we can X out of here, and now if we go back to the settings, and then we'll go back into accounts and import, and now it's showing as mypracticeprojects.com for the email here. We can also click to make it the default if that's where you want all the emails to go to and things like that. So now it's set as the default. It's that simple. So if we want to, we can also add a email here, and this is how to check mail from other accounts, which is really important because we can check our support@mypracticeprojects.com emails from this actual email login that we have here. So we'll go and click add a POP3 mail account, and we'll put the address it says enter the email address of the account to get mail from. So this is where we're going to want to write the support email, in my case, that I want to receive the mail from. So it'll be support@mypracticeprojects.com in this case. I'll click next step. And for the username, I'm just going to make it support@mypracticeprojects.com. I'll put in a password. And down here, I'm going to change this pop server to the name server within HostGator here. When we went down and we last used the second name server out of the two, if you remember, we used this one before. This time we're going to use the first one. In this case, it's ns8333.hostgator.com in my case. We'll copy that. We'll go back into this pop server area, and now we'll go to, and we'll leave the port as 110 again, and we'll click here. We'll skip this one. We'll click this, and we'll click this. And now I'm just going to click Add Account. And now you can see that we can check mail from other accounts, and we can check mail from here. Now if we go back to the inbox, we'll see that we have a new tab on the left side that says support@mypracticeprojects.com. So I can check email right within my normal Gmail account that's coming to this email. So you can check and send it from this email address. If you want to try it out and just test it to make sure it works, I recommend doing so. And if we want to try it out, we can just simply go to where it says compose, and it will say right here, from My Practice Projects, support@mypracticeprojects.com. That's who it will say it's from. So you know that you're sending it from that email address when you're messaging someone now. And if you wanted to do a test, I can send one to my other email account just to verify that it's set up correctly. And I'll just call test, and I'll send an email. Now when I go over to my Yahoo email and I refresh this page, I'll see that I have a new email here, and it's called test, and it says My Practice Projects is who it's from. And you'll see it says support@mypracticeprojects.com. So this is how you can set up your Gmail to send and receive emails as your email name that you had set up. I really hope this helps you out. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have about this. We're going to go over ways to change the background image of our website. As you can see right here, the background image of our website is this with the buildings on each side and the stream going through the middle. And it also is shown down here in the contact form as well at the bottom of the site. We're going to go through two different sites that allow us to add images for free to our own website, and they're going to be high quality image sites. The first site that we're going to look at is called Pixabay. If you want to just go to Google and go to Pixabay, or I believe it's pixabay.com. And the second one is going to be called Unsplash. And Unsplash also has the high resolution photos. Now there are, as it says, over 560,000 free photos. And these images are free images that you can use anywhere. It says, all images and videos on Pixabay are released free of copyrights under Creative Commons. You may download, modify, distribute, and use them royalty-free for anything you like, even in commercial applications. Attribution is not required. And that might be the key thing, that you do not have to give credit to the artist for these images. On many other types of sites, you do have to give credit to them, and it can really affect what you can and can't use, and you can get into a lot of legal trouble if you do use the wrong images illegally. Now, something I want to point out is that on our theme, it automatically comes with this tinted kind of background to make your colors darker, and it does this to show you that this white text is more visible. It becomes more visible because the background is darker essentially. And the same case goes for down low. It's also darker as well down here to make the white text have more of an impact on the website. Now, when we go to search, let's go on pixabay.com and we can search for really anything you want to look for. Let's put in scenery and see what comes up. I would recommend in this case, since it's going to be a darker background anyway, that we get a darker image. Maybe we use something like this. And I like how this image looks. I think it looks like a nice image. And we'll click free download. Now something I would recommend is you either get an XL or the biggest size possible. The reason I say that is because when you adjust your image from smaller to larger, it loses some of the quality of the image. But when you go from larger to smaller, you don't have this negative effect on the quality of the image. But I will say, I know at least on Pixabay, when you click to download at the largest style image, it usually prompts you to sign up for an account. The account's completely free, and I believe you will have to verify your account. So I would highly recommend doing that, since there's really nothing to lose in this case and you get a beautiful image for your background. As an alternative, we could go to Unsplash here, and it also has the same thing. Do whatever you want, high resolution photos, and you can actually subscribe for new photos that are uploaded. And here they have a search area up here in the upper right, but it also has a ton of high quality images. And I think the images are actually of better quality on Unsplash. I like this photo right here, but I think it maybe will be a little too plain. I like that it's dark though for our background. I think something like this would also look good for our background. I'm going to actually go with this first one right here, and see how it goes. So now that I've logged into my account, I'm going to click free download, and I'm going to go with the original size since it is the largest, and click download. It gives you a chance to help the volunteers that upload these images by giving them a free coffee. It's a way that you can contribute to the work that they've done. This is optional, it's completely up to you. And from this image, I'm actually going to put this on my desktop. And we will go to that image in a second. Now we will go back to our website, to the dashboard. If you need to log into the dashboard, please do so now. And after we log into the dashboard, we go to Appearance, Customize, and next we will have this menu on the left side. We're going to scroll down to where it says Background Image on the left side and click that. Then I'm going to just click Remove to remove that image, and then I will click Select Image. Now here it says Drop Files Anywhere to upload or select files. I'm going to click Select Files, select, and click Sunset. Now something that I want to point out to you is this section on the right where it says Title, Caption, Alt Text, Description. You can add a little description, and this helps with SEO benefits, especially the alt text, because this really helps give an alternate text that people that have disabilities can now read what the text is supposed to say, so they can get an idea. Instead of it just notifying them that there's a picture there, it can tell them it's a picture of a sunset, for example. What I'm just going to do is probably just type in sunset for each one. Something simple like this is fine. Sunset background image. Sunset background image. And I'm just going to put one more time. And then I'm going to hit choose image. And there it is. You can verify that it looks okay to you. And I think it looks pretty nice. You can always go and choose another image if you want something different, that's fine. And then I'll go back up to the top, and if I like it, I'll click Save and Publish. And that's how we change the background image for our website. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask in the support section as always. I hope you've had no problem changing this background image. And in this section, we're going to try to change the logo to something that looks a lot more desirable for what our website will be about, instead of the serif theme logo that they give us by default. the first step that we're going to take here is go to PicMonkey.com. This is a free logo resource, and what we're going to go do is go down to the bottom here, and I will say that the website look and feel may change over time, but for now we're going to click where it says Make a Design. After clicking that, we're going to be sent to another screen, and we're just going to leave this background size here, our canvas size here, as the default because we can adjust it later. And the first thing we're going to do is click the TT icon on the left, which is for text. After we click that, we want to click Add Text. And then, to get started, we click inside of the text. And I'm just going to type My Practice Project, since this is the current domain name. And I'm going to change the font color to be a bluish color. Oops. And what I want to do is actually highlight it first, and then change the font color and make it a bluish color. And that looks fine for me. But what I'll do after that, you can view it if you deselect the color so you can actually see the font color. Now what I want to do is go over here, and I will look for a font that looks pretty good, and let's do Chelsea Market. I guess that looks good. Now I'm going to deselect the image, and I'm going to actually drag it up to the corner here. Now to resize my image, you can scroll in and out, as you see, in and out like that. But to make the font size fit more easily, you can change it like that. See, now it fits. For my website, it will fit perfectly on one line. We don't want it on two different lines unless you're trying to do it that way on purpose. Now, after you're happy with that, you want to go over and click this icon at the top that says Basic Edits. We'll go there. Then we will click Canvas Color and click Transparent, and then click Apply. Next, we will go to Crop, which I'm sure a lot of you have experience doing with Facebook images and things like that. And what I like to do is I like to line it up so the top left corner is over it, and then you will drag it and crop your desired logo in that section. After you have it, you want to click Apply, and then you'll click Save to save the image. Here's what the image will be titled. I'm just going to rename it to be My Practice Project Logo. And the important thing to realize here is you need to have it left as a PNG file. A PNG file is going to be the only way to show your image as a transparent image on the website. And what that means is, for example, if you didn't have it that way with a transparent background, there would be a white box around this logo. The transparency makes it so there's not an odd looking white box in the logo. So it is very important for it to be transparent, and PNG image is the only way that that's going to happen. Now after we have it saved as a PNG, we'll go Save to My Computer, and then you put where you're going to save it. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and then click Save again. And it says having trouble saving your photo, download it. And I am having trouble with the saving process. It doesn't seem like it wants to save. So I'm going to hit cancel here, and then I'm going to go back and hit save again, and I'll again change this to PNG, and then I will click download it this time instead. And there it goes. We have the downloaded image. I'm going to then open this up, put this on my desktop just for easier use, and then I will go back into the website. And what I will want to do here is go to the dashboard. So if you're not logged in, please log in. We'll go to Appearance and then Customize. This is an area that we're going to be using frequently to edit websites. And then in this case, we'll go to where it says Site Identity on the left. And here's the logo section at the top. It says No Image Selected. We will click Select Image. Then we'll go to Upload Files, select Files, just as we did last time when we added our background image. We'll go to the logo, and I'm just going to quickly put some little description here and hit Choose Image, and there it is. There's the logo at the top. I would recommend that you play around and adjust the sizes of the logo and things like that to find something that better suits your needs. But for now, I just wanted to show you how to basically make a free quick logo. An alternative to this is actually something that you could use for your social media images, and that I would highly recommend using because I've used it a lot for my own social media images, is a website that is called Canva, and it's canva.com. And here on canva.com, once the site loads, we'll be able to see that you can actually resize and set up your own graphics that will perfectly fit your needs for any social media image or size. I'll show you. I'm going to log into my account now. After I've now logged into my account, you can see at the top it says Create a Design, Social Media, Presentation, Poster, Facebook Cover, Facebook Post, Blog Graphic, A4, and more. Or you can use custom dimensions if you want a certain size. And if you click on More, you can then have more options such as YouTube channel art, YouTube thumbnails, Facebook cover event, Twitter headers, Google Plus photos, things like this. And if we just click on a random one, let's just go to YouTube channel art. It will then load a blank canvas similar to what we had before. And you can put text on here. You can put background colors. It will show a variety of background colors. And notice that in the lower right it says free. But if you scroll down, every other image that isn't free is $1. So every image that you use that's not free is $1. But the good thing is there's enough quality images that you can probably not have to spend any money. Also, you can upload your own images right to it and then edit them from there. Something I like to do personally is go into Elements and go to Photos because they have a lot of high quality photos. And I will then scroll down a little bit and I'll find one that I like. Let's go with this one here, for example. And what you want to do is just drag the corners to make it fit. Maybe this was a bad example because it's more of a vertical picture and this is more of a horizontal horizon. So let's try something like this. And you just drag it. It's okay if it overlaps over the sides, that's fine. You want it to be over the edges so then none of the picture is cut off. And after you're happy with it, you click outside of the area. So I'll click out here and now it's locked in. But if you want to move it, you can still pick it up and move it again. Just click on the inside and then outside to lock it in place again. And then if you want to add text over it, you can easily do that. And it gives you lots of different text options over here. And I'll just type in I'll just type in my practice projects. Now, how to move this text is you just go over it again. And if you want to change the font, you can do so here. Here are a lot of different font options. And if you want to go to a different color, it gives you a color wheel with all different colors on it. Let's say we want this color. And there you go, and then there's all different options that you can do here, such as you can also put it all uppercase. You can make left, center, or right down here it says. So there are a lot of options that you can do with something like this. You can actually make logos like this, but I do not believe that there's a way to make them transparent as far as saving them as a transparent logo goes. When you want to download them, it gives you an option to download it, and it will say as a JPEG, PNG, or even a PDF. I would recommend that you go with PNG, but it's really up to you, I guess, because there probably won't be transparency within the image unless they make an update that can do that. I hope this was a helpful tutorial and got you started in the right direction for making your own logo. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the support section. I just wanted to add a quick little lecture here about how to change the appearance of your logo. For example, if we didn't scale it last time, we have this large looking logo just like I did not do in the previous lecture. A way that you can actually adjust it without having to go through and creating a whole new logo is by going into your media area. Media is where your image is and everything. And then you click on the logo to open it up, and if you see it says dimensions 686 by 92. What you want to do is go over here where it says edit image on the left side and click that, and then it will give you the original dimension 686 by 92, and you can scale it to a different size. So let's say we put 290 and it will scale it to 39. And I like this. I'm going to click scale here. So now it resized to this size. And if we X out of here, and now what we need to do after changing the aspect ratio is go to appearance and customize again like we had done before. And now we go to site identity again, and now we have to select the new image and add it, and we'll see right here it says 290 by 39. So you see that it's been changed, and look, right there it just changed, but we have to click save and publish. And now if we refresh, we see that the logo size has been resized to a better looking size for our website. We're going to go over pages and starting up our menu that will be displayed at the top of our website, which is right here. And I want to point out that this serif theme is a little bit different than most websites would be and most themes would be. And it's because if you go to pages here in the back end of the dashboard, on most websites when you add a new one, as we did with the About Me section earlier, if you add one that just says contact, for example, and then you publish it, it will go into the menu at the top. If we refresh this page, it should say contact as well up here at the top. As you can see, it says contact here, but what makes this different is because of the way the serif theme is laid out, where it has a feature section. This is almost like a page. You can almost picture features being up here at the top. And then next, about, and it could be your About Me page. And then you would have your team, and it could be your team page at the top. And then we have testimonials, which could also be its own page. And then we have latest news, and then we have get in touch for the contact form. All of these could be their own pages, but the way this is set up, it can almost be like a one-page website. Because of that, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to go into the pages section and delete any of the pages that we've made here thus far. We'll just trash and trash the other as well, and then we'll go into the trash area. And we will delete permanently and delete permanently. Now, after we're done doing that, we can go back and refresh the home page, and we're going to see that there's nothing there in the menu anymore. So you can see there's no menu items up here anymore. Now, to add a menu, it's a little bit different in serif, as I said. What we're going to want to do is go to Appearance and then Menus. And the first thing that we're going to have to do when we get to this page is create a menu. And in this section, I'm just going to call it Main Menu. That's what I normally do. And then Create Menu to the right of it. Now, I want to also save this as the primary menu. In other themes, you might have an option for a footer menu, for example, or something like this. So you have to describe which menu you want it to be. The primary menu is going to be up here at the top, and the footer menu is going to be down here in some other themes at the very bottom. And in this theme, there's just the primary option, so that's all we're going to choose. And we're going to save that. The next thing we're going to want to make sure is that our screen options at the top has custom links checked, and I'm actually going to uncheck post here. And then I'm going to go back down, and where it says custom links on the left side, I'm going to click that. And what I want to do is actually add our home page URL to this. Add it here, copy and paste it in, and then I'm going to put that as home and click add to menu. That will represent our home page, and this will show up here as our new navigation is set up. Next, we're going to want to add our focus page, which is the first one we see here, which is the code for the first one we see here, which is features. And the way we do that is we copy that in, the same URL as our home page, and then we put a £, and then we write focus. And here we can name the section whatever we want. In this case, I guess we'll name it features because that's what's there. We can always edit this at a later point. Then we'll hit add to menu. Next, we're going to do the same thing for the next one. We're going to copy our link, and this one will be called About Us, just as the About Us section is next here. And here we will go down and write, I'm sorry about that. We need to do a £, about us. And then here we write about, or whatever you want to display here is what you put. You don't have to put about us. You can put about me, whatever you want to display there. Next, we'll do the next link. We put the home page link, and then we do the £, again. And this time, the next one is team, which is the next one below here, where it says your team. And here I'm going to put our team and add it to the menu. Next, we'll again put the home page menu and again put £. And this section is called, Testimonials. And here we will write Testimonials. And then click add to menu again. Next, we'll also do our regular website's name. Well, then we will type pound and put latest news. And then here we can put latest news if that's what you want it to be titled. Add it to the menu. And then our last section here, we're going to do our domain name again, pound, and then we'll put contact. And this, we can just name it contact for now. And we'll hit add to menu again. Now, most importantly, you want to save this menu after you've done all that. And now if we go back to the website after this is done saving, we go back to our home page of the website. And if we refresh, we'll see the updates that have been made to the page. See, we have a home page, features, about, our team, testimonials, latest news, and contact. Now, the reason why we added that £, and then the page that it was linked to is because now we'll have a feature. If we click on, let's say, testimonials, by default, well, I must have misspelled testimonials, but if you see, if we click on a different tab on the page, we will then be directed to that section. For example, if we go to features, we'll go down to features. About, it will auto take us to the about section. Our team, it will take us to the our team section. And if we go down to contact, it will take us down to contact. What I'm going to do is go fix the spelling on testimonials, but I hope this was helpful in showing you exactly what I was trying to explain, that we don't need to make the tabs and the pages through the actual pages menu. In this case, we can make it through the appearance menu and do it with custom links. Another thing that I wanted to add was that a design like this can be very beneficial because it can keep people on the same page. Now think about it. If you're on a mobile device, on your phone for example, and you want to change pages on a normal website and you click to go to a new page, it has to open up a whole new tab. That would be /testimonials. Now, this is helpful because it keeps you on the same page, and you'll just have to be scrolled down in that case. So it prevents the time from having to load a new page and wasting some of your data and things like this. and it's much more easily accessible for people with mobile devices. Another thing that I wanted to add before we close off this lecture is that if you want to make, for example, a drop-down menu, you could easily add a page. Let's just add a new page to this section. I'll do add page, add new, and I'll just name it test, and we'll publish that. Now if we go back to our appearance tab and then we go to menus, we can add test to the menu, and let's say we want test to be a drop down section of the our team section. Now we do that and we click save menu. See how it's over, it's kind of off centered from this. If it was directly under it, it would be a whole different tab, but under it, it means it's a subcategory of that tab. Now if we refresh this page, we can go and look at the menu. Home doesn't have a drop down, features doesn't have a drop down, about no drop down, but our team has a drop down and it will go to the test page. Obviously it doesn't look like much because we didn't do anything to it, but this is just an example of how to make a drop down in the menu. Now if you want to go delete that, you can simply go over and hover over it and then click this and then click remove. And then you can also rearrange how the layout is if you want to drag it and move it up to a different section, for example, or something like that. But we already have it in order, so I'm going to revert it back to how it was. In this lesson, we're going to go through editing the features area, and you may notice that there is nothing here in this features area, and that is because I removed it just to show you what it would look like. Now, the first thing we want to do is go to Appearance, and then go to Widgets. To get started in our widgets, we want to find our focus widget, section widgets, which is related to these. If you remember, we did the # and focus for this section, set it up. And this is the section, the second one of the 4, as you see here, the second one of the 4 that I deleted. And I did this just to show what it would look like. And by doing that, I just removed the content and clicked Save. What we want to do to get images for these icons is, first of all, you want to decide how many icons you have, or how many, I guess you can say, section titles you want to have. And then we're going to go to Pixabay again, pixabay.com. And the first thing that we're going to do when we get here is go to All Images and change this to be Vector Graphics. After we do that, all of our graphics should be, or almost all I should say, will be transparent. And although our background is white here on this scenario, and it probably wouldn't matter, you're not always going to have a white background for your images. So it's good practice to start using these vector images when you can, because you might not always have this white background. Now the first image that we're going to use, in my example at least, is we're going to go for responsive design. That's what we're going to search for, and I like this image right here. Click on the image, and then you click free download, and in all of these examples for this, we're going to say the smallest size, and this size is a lot larger than the image size that we're going to need when we put it in here, so we're going to need to adjust the size anyway, but we'll start with the small one for now. You click download. The next image we're going to search for is, make sure it's on vector graphics again. Now for our second example picture, we're going to just type in website, since we're making our websites, and we'll just choose this image. How about just for a regular old image, and we'll just go to free download and hit save again and download. After that second image, our third image we're going to go for is, we have to make sure this says vector graphics again. It changes by default each time. We'll go to Twitter, and for this we will use, let's just click this one here and free download, and again we're going to save it as small. I'm just going to use 3 sections in my example, and if you want you can use 4. You can even use more than 4, I believe, in this theme. So it's really up to you. After we have these pictures downloaded from here, our next step is to upload them into the WordPress site. So I'm going to go back to this section of the dashboard, and then I will go to Media and click Add New. After that, I will click Select Files, and then I will locate the files that I need to upload. They're going to be in the download section for me. After you upload those three, you want to then go to the library section of media on the left. And we're going to need to resize these, as I said, to fit into these placeholders here. And what we'll do is we'll click on an image, and then we will go to Edit Image, just like we did earlier with the logo, to resize it. And in this case, I believe around 95 would be the right scale for this. It might be anywhere between 90 and 100. You might have to play with it. But let's say we set it and then we find out we set it at 110, let's say. And it's too big and you want to adjust it. You want to go to Restore Original Image and then click Restore Image to resize it to how it was, because you don't want to lose any of the quality of the image. So in our case, we're going to make it 95 by 62, and we'll hit Scale, and it will save automatically. You don't have to save it again. We'll X out of this one. We'll go to the next image, and we'll do the same thing. Go to Edit Image, and then we'll make it 95, Scale, and then we'll X out in the upper right, and again we'll go to our next image, Edit Image, and then we'll go 95 again, and we'll hit Scale. Now we might have to play around with these. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. Next, after we have those three images saved, or more in your case, more or less, we go to Appearance, and then we go to Widgets. And now we want to go back into our Focus section, Widgets, and then this will be the first widget that appears. Parallax Effect. You see Parallax Effect with the text under it. I'm going to write some text in here. I'm just going to pause the video temporarily and write some text, and I'll start it when I'm done. And I'm actually going to do that for each of my three sections, our Focus Widget sections. And I'm going to go into the fourth one here and delete that completely. So now I have three sections for my three images. I'm just going to pause the video, as I said, and I'll be right back. Okay, so far what I've done is just added in the title text, which will appear in this section right here, and then I have also just added in some body text which will appear in here. I haven't done anything as far as link goes or anything like that. Now to change our image, we're going to click Upload Image, and in that section, let me just verify, in that section we were talking about the responsive design elements. So for responsive design, we will click this. Again, if you want to help your SEO a little bit, you want to title it accordingly. And then we will click Save. After we get the image uploaded, we'll click Save. And now let's check it out, how it looks with the changes. And there it is. There's our first section right here in the features. And it's responsive design. I just wrote some text in here as well to fill it in. Next, we're going to go over and we're going to change the image. You have to see if you like the size of this image, by the way, and I think it looks okay. It fits pretty well. Next, we're going to go down to our next tab, and actually something I'm going to do is get rid of this link placeholder there, which a pound sign is a placeholder for a link element. In this one, we're going to upload image, and this is the website section. So here I'm just going to change the section to say website for the SEO purposes, and then we'll click Save, and to view that We can see that it had no image there before. And now it has a picture of the laptop that we wanted for website. In social media, I have some text here. Maybe I should make this text a little bit longer so it fits a little better as far as the length goes in relation to the other two texts there. And I guess I'll do that real quick. I'll go down here and I'll just write okay, and I'm going to also delete the link placeholder again. I'm going to get rid of the image, and I'm going to upload the social media image that we have, the Twitter one. And again, if you want to help with the SEO text, you can do that. I would fill out all 4 sections, but I'm just trying to be quick so it's not so repetitive for you guys. We'll click Save, and then if we go back to the site and we click Update, we can see that this logo is filled in. I think this logo is a little bit big, so if we want to go back and resize it, we're going to go back into the back end here, and we will go to where it says Media and Library again, and we will click on this image and we'll go to Edit Image. And now, like I said, we see that it's 95 by 112. We're going to go here and click Restore Image so we don't lose any of the quality. And now we're going to try this at 85. How about 85 by 100? And we'll scale it. Go back. And now we go back into Appearance and go to Widgets. And we locate our Focus Section widget, which is for the featured one here. And what we do is we go to Social Media, scroll down, and we will upload image to replace that one. We can see that the size has changed, 85 by 100. And we click Insert into Post. Click Save after that. And now we will go back to the site and see the size currently. Let's refresh it and see if it got a little smaller. And it fits a little better than it did. If you want to play around with that, you can. But that's the gist of how to do it. If you have any questions about this section, feel free to add a question in the support section. We're going to go over how to change some elements on our web page, including this right here where it says one of the top 10 most popular themes on WordPress.org, and these feature buttons and where they go to. If you click on them, you'll see Features takes us to the feature section, which is great. But if we click on what's inside, it also just takes us to the feature section, and you might want to take it to another section. So we'll go over how to do that as well. And we will also start customizing this section down here, the About section as well. So we're going to make some real changes to how the site looks, and let's dive in. So what you're going to want to do, if you're not logged in already, log into the back end of your dashboard here by going to your website domain /wp-admin, and then once you get here, we're going to go to Appearance on the left hand side and then click Customize. This will take us to the customization area of the website where we can really make a lot of changes and see the changes right before our eyes. Now, what we want to do here is we'll go to where it says Big Title section on the left, which is this, the Big Title section. And then we'll click Main Content, and if you want to change the text, we're going to just add in a little bit of text that I wrote here, and it will be learn to make beautiful WordPress websites. You can add in whatever text you want, experiment with what fits well for you. Just to note, it will be all in capital letters. And next, I'm going to leave the Features button to take us down to the Features page. And if you remember, we had #focus for the Features section. And then I'm going to actually change this to say Contact Us, and I'm going to change it to be # and then Contact. Will take us down to that contact page. Now, to save it, you'll just click Save and Publish. and you'll see that it says contact us here instead of what's inside, which it said before, for that link element. Now if we do this, we'll click on features just to see. Oops, actually I got to go on to the actual website, refresh the page. And now we can see it says contact us instead. Now if we click features, it will take us to the features section as I expected. And now if we click contact us, it will shoot us all the way down to the get in touch contact form at the bottom of the page. So if you want to change it to something else, just a reminder, it's focus, # focus for features, # about us, # team, # testimonials, # latest news, or # contact, depending on which section you want it to go to. Now, next, after you're happy with how this area looks, we're going to go back over here, hit the back button again, and then we will go to the About Us section is the one down here with, it says About at the top, and then it has a larger heading on the left side, and then on the right side it has 3 different paragraph text areas, and then it tells your skill set with a number representing a percentage sign of your skill set. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in text and change the text to be something we want, and maybe change these elements to be different numbers, and if you want to only have 1 or 2, you can change it to be 1 or 2, or if you want all 4, you can do that. Whatever you want to do, we're going to run through it now. So the first thing that we're going to want to do here is go to main content, and this says about, and that's what it says right here. You can change this to be something else, and it will show you right there what it will show up as, what it will look like, and it will say about this course in my scenario. And this is if you want to have a little thing below it, and I will just write what this course teaches. This is what's going to be this big text right here on the side. If I delete that, I'm going to input text that I already wrote, and it's just going to be simple text. I'll go back to the site. It says learn the ins and outs of WordPress. And this text right here is the text that goes in the middle. Now the way we're going to do this is I'm going to use this section here for text in the middle. And if you notice, the last word in my first text here is for. Now if I go back and I type it like this, it's very hard to see exactly what is what. Do you see what I mean? It's because it's so condensed together in a small little box. Now I'm going to look for the word for, which was the last word of the first section. And here it is, for, with the question mark. Now what I'm going to do, so it's not all bunched together like this in one big section, I'm going to put a break, and that's HTML, and that's probably the only HTML we're going to use in this whole course. And now see how it changed the line? We're going to put another break in right here. And we'll watch the change come up, and now there's a space between the 2 paragraph texts. We're going to hit save and publish, and then we'll go back to the main content section, and we'll go to feature number 1. Feature number 1, you can describe the feature. Now see, it just went away, and now I'm going to do number 1. There it is, back again. What we're going to do is we're just going to add in text that I have just pre-written little things just to show you as an example. It says WordPress installation. Now here you can select the percentage if you want. You can go like that, or you can actually just type it in. We're going to just type it in, and it will say 100%. I'm going to just click save. Next, we're going to go to number 2. I'm going to put 100% again. I'm just going to put 100% for all of them, and This one I'll put customer service. Again, it comes all capitalized when you put it in like this. Next, I'm going to go to number 3 and put 100% again. WordPress customization, and I'll save that. And for a fourth one, I will put work with multiple themes, and this will be 100% as well. And that's how you can edit this about section and make it designed to your liking. If you have any questions about this section or about the top as well, where we went over this, please just feel free to ask me in the support section. Thanks. In this section, we're going to be going over the team menu and editing it so that we can change the members here and their descriptions that come over when it pops up when you hover over their name, as well as the social media links and everything else involved with this section. Now, the first thing that we can do is we can change this text right here that says your team and the subtitle below it. What we'll do is we'll go to Appearance, and then we'll go to Customize in the dashboard. Once that page loads, we'll go down to where it says Our Team section on the left, and then we'll click Content, and if you see down here it says Your Team, and then it has a subtitle below it. That's exactly what this is. And I will just put WordPress Team, and then I'll also put this section right here and copy that in. And then we will see that it appears here, and we'll click Save and Publish. Now that's all we can do in the customization area of this. Next, we're going to focus on the widgets. So you'll hit X in the upper left, that was there, and we'll go to Appearance, and now we'll go to Widgets. After we get to the widgets area, we'll look for this section right here, Our Team section widgets, and click on that. When we click on the first one here, it says Ashley Simmons, Project Manager, and this descriptive text with the social media links and her image as well. To verify this is Ashley Simmons, here's the text that comes up, the position, and the social media links, just as we see in the back end of the widget. Now, to add new text to this, we can just change the name, and I'll just use myself as this example. WordPress Teacher. And here we're going to change the descriptive text to text that I've already written up, short little text. After we do that, we'll add that in, and then we'll scroll down to where it says Facebook links and things like that. To remove that placeholder again would be just by deleting it like this. So there will be no Facebook one. If we go and we save in the lower right and we refresh the website here, there should be no Facebook icon when we refresh. So let's just make sure that worked. And now you can see that there's no Facebook icon because we've just removed it. If you want to add any links or remove them, simply just add the facebook.com/ and then the profile link, or twitter.com/profile link. In this case, I'm not going to have any social media links for this example. And then what we'll do is I want to upload an image. I'll put an image of myself as well here. So I'll click Upload Image, and then we will have to go to Upload Files, select Files, and I will go to Pictures on my own computer here, and I will upload an image of myself. Now, once I have the image, I will click Insert into Post, and then I will click Save. Now what we can do is go back to the team section here on a regular site and refresh it. Once that page refreshes, we can see that the image has been edited and our text is now there. And there are also no social media icons because we removed them all. Now let's say I want to edit things because the image looks kind of squished. What we can do is go back to the back end, and this time we will go to Media on the left side, go to Library, And instead of scaling the image this time that we select, we're actually going to go to Edit Image. And instead of scaling it, we're going to change the aspect ratio to be 1:1, because these images actually, despite being circular, they require you to have a square image to fill out the image the right way. Now what we want to do is simply we're going to go and crop this image. So what we're going to want to do is hold the mouse and drag it over the area that we want to select. And then once we have the area, we'll then click this crop icon in the upper left. You want the ratio to be close to 1:1. See, the selection is 145 by 141. As long as that number is close, it should look good in the picture. Now we'll hit crop. And now we'll save it. And now we'll go back and we'll go to the appearance section and widgets. And in this section, we'll then go back to our team section widgets and click this to edit it. And now we'll go back down to the picture and we'll click upload image to upload the new image that we have. Now see it says 145 by 141. We'll click insert into post and then save. And now when we refresh the page, we can see that the image is a better fit for the picture. It's actually more of a close-up too because of the way we cropped it. If you want it to be larger and not as close-up, you just crop more of the image. If you have any questions about this and this section, then feel free to ask me in the support area. In this section, we're going to go over how to edit the next sections, which is the testimonial and the latest news sections on our website. I personally may not include the latest news section in the final website preview, but I'm not really entirely sure yet, so we're going to go through it anyway and show you how to add content to that if you want. But first, let's get started with the testimonials section. The first thing we're going to do is go to the back end of the dashboard here, and we'll go to Customize as we usually do to start. And again, this section is actually very similar in a way to the WordPress team section, that you only can do so much in the customization elements here. So we'll go down to where it says Testimonials, and we'll go to Testimonials section, and we have the option to hide it, but we're not going to in this case. We're going to leave it to say Testimonials, and if we want a subtitle, let's just add something, what our customers are saying. And then you'll just go to Save and Publish, and that's all we can do as far as customization in that section goes. However, when we go to the X here in the upper left and go back, we can go to Appearance and Widgets, and in the Widgets section we can customize it more. We'll see the testimonial section widgets just like last time, and here we'll see the first one is Dana Lorem, and if you look here, it's Dana Lorem again, and that's the text representing what she's saying is right here. So again, I'm just going to change this to be myself again, just for example purposes. And in the text, I'm going to add just some text I wrote up. We'll go back to the website, and next we'll go in to change the image. It's just like last time where we'll go to Upload Image, and if you need to crop it, you can. And I'm going to insert this and save it. And now if we go back to the front end of the website, the front of it, and we refresh the page, we can see that my image is now there, and it says Tom Johnson and the text that I put in. So it's very simple to change these. Now I'm going to go over something that I should have in the last lecture about how to delete one and how that works. So this one is Cynthia Henry, and this is the last one here. I'm actually going to delete this post, and I'm going to show you that I don't need to get confused over, I'm not entirely sure why it's showing my own image here. I guess that's a problem with the free theme. But to delete the post, I don't want you to accidentally think you're going to delete the image when you just click delete. You're actually going to delete everything that's in this section. So if we delete it, we'll see that we only have now 2 testimonials in the widget section. Mine that says Tom Johnson right here, and the second one down here that says Linda Guthrie. Now, if we refresh the home page, we should have 2 here now, since the Cynthia Henry one should be gone. And if we see Cynthia Henry's testimonial is gone, and now it's just mine and Linda Guthrie's. Now, if we decide that we want to add another one back, what we can do is we go over to where it says it's going to be the same as this, Zarif Testimonial Widget. We look over here for Zarif Testimonial Widget, and we hold it and drag it over and drop it in. If we drop it here, it will be in between the 2, me and Linda's, and if we pull it down here, it'll be behind it. To show you that I'm going to put it in between. And now we will go back to the website and hit refresh. And now you can see this is the box where it would be going if we did put another person's testimonial picture and name in this area. So I'm just going to go back, and where it says testimonial widget with nothing in there, I'm just going to delete that again. But I want to show you all how to do that. When we refresh the page, it should go back to normal. Now for the next section, which is the latest news section, I wasn't actually going to use anything in this section. I was going to delete it, but I'll show you how to add blog posts that will go into the latest news section. So what we'll want to do is we'll go to the post section on the left. We can go to add new there or go add new here. And now we're going to do just a post name. It can be anything. Learn how to make a website. And now this is where your text would go. And this is an explanation of how to make a website with WordPress. I'm just going to write that. And for time constraints, I'm actually just going to write it a few times, just keep copying and pasting it. Now, to go down and show you an SEO aspect of this, if your focus keyword was related to this, what you would want it to be would be the same as this, learn how to make a website, like it will say in the name. And we'll put this here, and now we will see that it has effects on the SEO of the page. Obviously, we have the phrase over and over again, so it's not good for SEO, which is a red, means SEO score is not good. But if we go down, we can also add an image to this post, just to show you. And I will just add this image for this example, and it says the featured image should be at least 200 by 200 pixels. That's something that we can edit in our image media section here to fit better for this section, or we could even do that on Canva or something like that. But for this case, we're just going to go up to the top and we'll publish it. And now, after it has gone through, we'll refresh this page, and there should be something under the latest news, and there it is. It says latest news, and then if we click on this, it will take us to the article about the latest news. And that's just an easy way to show you about how to add to the latest news area of the website. If you wanted to have more, you can just add another blog post, and there will be one to the side of it, and it will keep going to fill up this section. In this lecture, we're going to wrap up making our site, and we're going to focus on the bottom 2 sections of our website down here. We're going to just add to the contact form here, and we are going to hit up the footer section as well and make some small changes. Now what we're going to do is go to the dashboard. If you're not logged in, please do so. Then we will go to Appearance, and we'll go to Customize yet again. And once the theme loads, we're going to go to where it says Contact Us section. And I'm going to also scroll down to the Contact Us section. And here it says Get in Touch. What we're going to do is I'm going to actually change that to say Get in Contact. And to add our email address to this, as you may recall, when we did the MailChimp integration, I made mine support@mypracticeprojects.com. So that's what I'm going to add here, mypracticeprojects.com. And then that's about all we can do in this section. If you want to create a CAPTCHA key account, I guess you can do that here. And that will just make it so they have to verify either an image that shows numbers or a math problem like 7 plus 3, and they have to put the correct answer to be able to send the message. This helps reduce spam, but it is not necessary, I feel like, in this case. So for now, we're just going to hit Save and Publish, and then we'll hit X here. And we'll actually have to go back into Appearance and then Customize. We actually didn't have to hit X there. We could have scrolled up. I apologize for that. And in this section, now we're going to go to General Options and then Footer Social Icons. And that's these icons in the lower right side of the footer. This is considered the footer. And it's these icons here, the social media icons. I personally am just going to leave Facebook and Twitter, and I'm going to remove LinkedIn. And then if we hit Save and Publish, we can already see that it's been updated. Now we'll click this arrow to go back. And now we go to Footer Content, which is these three elements here. I actually like how these icons look. They're pretty standard type icons, so you can know what it means. Here I'm just going to put an address, just a fake address. 555 Main Street, that sounds fake enough. Miami, Florida. And I have no idea what that zip code is, so we're just going to go 19999. That's our address. You can see it coming into place right here. Something I should point out is, see how it comes all on one line, and it should be separate lines? What we can do about that is, do you remember the break HTML we used to break up our text earlier when we were working within the, I believe it was the About section? Yes, it was the About section right here where we did this break in between. That's called a line break, this BR for break. And we did that again down here to separate the text on each line. Now we're going to go down to the contact form. And this is a link. This means href means it's a link. And this is a link to where the email is supposed to go. Now I'm going to change this to the same one that we had above in the contact form. And I'll just change it to that. And I'm going to also change this one because that's what's displayed right here. If you wanted to change it to something else, you could change it to I'll change it to our email address. And if we look, it now changed to our email address, and it's a clickable link. Like I said, ahref equals, and then the address is for a link. That's HTML for a link. So if I hovered over that, I can email it. If I want to display the actual email address, I can do that as well, which I guess will look better. But I want to know that you have the option. Sorry about that. Keyboard got stuck there. And now it will update and display the email address in full. Now to go down and change the telephone number, it's the same thing. This is technically a link. And this is if someone has a device that they want to call. I know Skype calls do this, where they can highlight numbers that are able to be called right away on Skype. And I'm actually just going to make this 1-555-5555. And I'm also going to change this to say the same. 1-555-5555. So you can see that this is updated as well, and it is a clickable link still. If you don't want this to be a clickable link, you simply would just delete where it says this section from the one less than sign to the greater than sign. And then once you're happy with how it looks, we'll just simply click Save and Publish. Now that's about it for this footer section. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the support section. Hey everyone, I wanted to thank you for taking this course on how to make a one-page website with WordPress. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I'll do my best to respond to you within the YouTube comments below. And I also just wanted to point out to you that I have many tutorials on here on different WordPress themes and how to edit things within WordPress websites, different plugins, things like that. And I will continually be adding to this each week with at least one video a week coming out. So I definitely suggest that you subscribe to this channel for more of these updates. And feel free to check out my website for other things. I should have some more premium type courses coming soon where they are much longer courses with more in-depth features. But this type of website is definitely a great way to get started in building your first website and learn a lot of the things that most tutorials don't teach you about. So I really hope that you liked this tutorial, and I really hope that you were able to learn from it. Thanks for viewing it, everyone.